Hello, my name's Alice and I am the Communications Director of B and I work for the Civil Service. But before we get started, there's something I need to say about the channel. Just a very small change. I've been wondering how to say this for a while now, but basically I'm transgender and it's something I've struggled with all my life and I finally started to deal with it. What does Trans Day of Visibility mean for me? Good question. When I was 24, there wasn't a great deal of trans visibility. Only what was in the newspapers now and again, which was like sensationalism and kind of mocking people who were trans. And I tried to get some help when I was 24 with the gender dysphoria, and I went to the wrong place for that help. And I got made to look like a drag queen, and I'm not a drag queen. But at that time, because there wasn't any visibility, I thought, okay, that must be what it is to be trans. And that wasn't me. I wasn't a drag queen, so I went back in the closet for another 20 years. Roll on those 20 years and social media is getting a bit bigger, and YouTube, and a lot of young, amazing people, young trans people who are being really visible and out there on YouTube. And I'm sat there thinking, oh, hang on a second, maybe I am trans after all. And back then, when I was 24, was the wrong place to go, which obviously it was. So that is why trans visibility is really important, because people who are struggling and are fearful of coming out the closet and don't know where to go for help, having that visibility shows people what it is to be trans, and it shows people that you don't have to be in the closet. You can be out there and you can be accepted by people. And yes, there are lots of hate and there's lots of prejudice, and that needs to be tackled, but it can't be tackled hiding. It has to be tackled out in the open, and we have to be visible, and we have to show that we can withstand this wave and wave of hate that comes at us from the media. We can just stand there and let it crash past us, because it will eventually move on. Life will move on, but it can only move on when we are visible and we are educating people of what it means to be trans, and not hiding in fear of all this ignorance. Basically, that's all it really is. This fear of trans people is just based on ignorance, and we can dispel that by being visible and answering people's questions and educating people of what it means to be trans. I first went to B. This is as far as I got. I then turned around and went back, and then realised I was being silly, and got to the Theatre Royal and then turned back again and came along this street and knocked on the door and found some people who were like me. And it was a revelation. I had found my tribe at last. And that's why Trans Day of Visibility is so important, especially for someone like myself, who on the first time I went to B, I nearly turned around because I was too scared in case somebody saw who I was. For the first few meetings when I was at B, when I came out, I practically ran away because I was scared of people seeing me with trans people and associating me with being trans. And my first Pride, I spent the entire Pride dodging the cameras because I didn't want anyone to see me. And why? Why didn't I want people to see me? It's because of that fear, that ignorance. And there's no need to be. And I'm now proud, and I go to B and I march there with a flag on a Saturday afternoon by myself, and it felt great. and nobody said anything bad about it. I got stopped by the police who wanted to know what I was doing because they thought I was part of some protest. And I got stopped by a reporter who wanted to know what was happening. I got stopped by people in the street who wanted to know what the flag was, and I said it was trans, and great, good for you, you know? There's nothing to be scared of. Just be visible, and that's all we need to be. We just need to be visible in order to fight this ignorance. We just have to be there to educate people. And that's why this day is really important. And it's very important for me because I was in the closet for so long and now I'm not. And it's a fantastic feeling. So, happy Trans Day of Visibility, everybody.